Guys, so today we'll be discussing on why Lord Nandi faces Shiva in temples. So, as all of us know, when you commonly visit a Shaivite temple, you find that Lord Nandi, the bull deity, is facing the Shiva Linga, right? So, what is the message behind this? There are many rituals, do's and don'ts attached to this practice. For example, they say that you should not walk between the path of Nandi and Lord Shiva, or you should, whisper your prayers to the ears of Lord Nandi, something like that, and that you should concentrate on the linga through the space between the ears of Lord Nandi, and some things like this. There are many uh, practices attached to this, but unfortunately, many are unaware of the significance behind the reason why Lord Nandi is placed to face Lord Shiva. So I'll be explaining this here. Remember that there are many explanations, different ways of expressing the simple truth here, but it all relates to the same principle, the same message at the end. So in case you have read similar thing, reason as to why Lord Nandi faces Lord Shiva in some other article or some other explanation, some other videos, note that if you look carefully, the explanation that I'm going to give here corresponds, and ultimately all different ways of conveying this truth is ultimately leads to the same goal, same message, same principle conveyed in different ways and depictions. All right. So the main reason is that because Nandi is seen as Jivatma, right? Meaning an individualized consciousness or a soul, and Ishvara, the Shivalinga, is that of the ultimate consciousness, right? God, basically. So Nandi, being a Jivatma, being a bull, when it turns away from Prakriti, if you see, Lord Nandi is not facing left, right, or any other direction. He's solely concentrating on Lord Shiva. He's unaware of the disciples, unaware of happenings around him. Nothing. He's just concentrating on the linga. So when a Jivatma, he turns away from Prakriti, nature, creation, materialization, play of the five elements, any creation, and focuses towards the consciousness, the very consciousness that underlies everything in this creation itself. So it's like a matrix, there's creation and consciousness merged together. So Nandi is intelligent enough to put aside that creation, that delusion, and focuses on the underlying consciousness which governs the entire creation. So when he does that, Nandi becomes Nandishvara. So a bull turns God. So the message is that by concentrating on Ishvara alone, the human nature or any other species in that example, in this example it's a bull. So a bull itself is transformed to divinity. So similarly, man, by turning away from nature, not really turning away, but not getting entangled in them, you see, like not really getting attached or entangled or delusionized by them, and instead focuses himself towards Ishvara, the consciousness, through sadhana and anything. He realizes his true consciousness, he becomes enlightened, he is liberated, various terms you can use to indicate the same thing, and he becomes Ishvara. He merges with Lord Shiva, merges with ultimate consciousness, becomes one with the consciousness, and there's no difference between the ultimate and himself. Right. So when we say Shiva, when we say that Nandi becomes Ishvara or Shiva, what we mean by here is, just to clarify what I'm trying to convey as Shiva here, is that, see, when we use the term Shiva, many tend to, the first idea that comes to many people's mind is that of a person, right? A personality that we refer to as Shiva. A person with a trident, with matted locks and snake around his neck, in a meditative posture or any related thing. So remember that in our culture, a single term or a single concept has many dimensions to it. So that is one dimension, and another dimension of Shiva is that a consciousness, it represents that consciousness, right? So that consciousness, that ultimate consciousness, is verily everything, right? It is the consciousness that presides everything. So we get merged into that consciousness, not really merged, since when it presides everything, basically we are that same consciousness as well, right? We are no different from it, but it's just that we are not aware of it. We have not realized that, and it's just a matter of sadhana and time and effort, grace for us to realize that. And that's why many spiritual practices are there, many schools are there, many practices are there, which forms our culture itself, right? It's towards mukti, it brings us towards, it's about heightening our consciousness, right? And realizing the truth, realizing our true divinity. So that's about it. That's the message behind why Lord Nandi faces Lord Shiva, and there are many other significance to it as well, which again boils down to the same principle. For example, they say that you should observe or concentrate on Lord Shiva being through the space between Nandi's ears. What this means is that you should use your ears as a sadhana. You should only listen and grasp that which correlates with Ishvara, or anything that heightens your consciousness. So when you use your ears in this intelligent manner, it leads you to the goal as well. It heightens your consciousness and you become divine. So the same message again conveyed in a different way. And yes, that's about it. So that's the main important message that is conveyed through this in a very intelligent way. And I hope that you guys share this with your friends and anything, because basically everyone, I guess anyone associated with the Indian culture would have gone to a Shaivite temple where they would find Lord Nandi facing Lord Shiva, but I'm not sure as to how they would grasp its meaning. Such a profound truth, the highest truth that is depicted in a simple, very simple manner. It's really very intelligent. I find it very, very intelligent, right? Beyond all rituals and the do's and don'ts related to it. I hope that when the next time when people go to Shaivite temple, Shiva temple, this message should spark and should inspire them, right? Nandi should inspire them to, that's how Nandi become Nandishwara. Everyone should realize their true self as Ishvara. Whether it's a worm or any species, worm and human, we are all of the same consciousness, right? It's just that due to factors, karma and all these things, ignorance, whatever I'm talking, unless we realize the true nature, all this would be just a philosophy in my experience. The important thing is that we realize the truth, so that we understand the truth. So no matter what the species is, it's of the same consciousness, and it's just a matter of sadhana, effort, time, grace, until we realize it. And that is depicted, and to get to that state, our culture has produced many methods, many practices, and so this is simply represented by Nandi facing Lord Shiva, right? So this is a message. I'm not going to rituals. There may be some rituals attached that I may be not aware of, but I'm not contraindicating all those things. But this is an important point that I would like to emphasize and share with you guys, so that this is the underlying message that you should get inspired from the next time you visit a Shaivite temple. Thank you for watching.